Buona domenica. Ciao, everyone. This is Esther.
This is Alfred in front of a packed studio audience today. I'm telling you right now, we have a great group here today.
This is so much fun. So we're going to have our friend Jack Allensworth from St. Louis come on our show in just a little bit. He's going to talk about growing up Sicilian in the United States, also his visits here to Sicily, and so much more. But first, we've got a bunch of good things to say about the May group that just left 2 days ago. A big shout out to Christine Harrison and her daughter, Kaylee. We had a great time touring the island on the East Coast, and then we're going to get ready to go in June over to the West Coast. But on that note, we have a huge announcement to make. And without further ado,
what's the announcement?
We have a big tour coming up May 2023 of the East Coast and also the South. We're going to go to places like Ragusa, Modica, Agrigento, Sicily, Masamemi, Porto Paolo, 20 other towns that I can't remember. Of course, we'll do our regular May tour over here. We're going to go to the Feast of San Alfio, Philadelphia, Cerino, which is Alfred's ancestral hometown, in Tre Castagni. Of course, we're going to do Etna, Taormina, Ortigia, and all those other things. And also the Noto in Fiorata. So I probably forgot a couple
This is going to be twice as long as any tour we've done. It'll be it starts on May the 7th, depart from the States, and you return on May 23rd.
With the option of only doing half of it.
You could do half of the tour if you want, or you could do the full Monty, okay? I've always wanted to do the southern places of Masameni, Pachino, Porto Paolo, way down, and talking to Chris Harrison,
a live audience.
She wants to go there as well. So I says, what the heck? You know something? We're going to put it into this group. And also, you've got Ragusa, Modica. And here's the thing. We're going to stay in a second place.
In Avola.
In Avola, which to me, as I've said many times on the programming, Avola is one of the best towns in all of Sicily.
In down south, yes.
Down south. So we're going to stay at our regular place of residence. And then once Group A leaves, so to speak, those who only choose to take the first half, then Group B, that's going to be the remaining people, we're going to move down to Avola and work the rest of the tour down there. This is going on the bus all day long.
And the other thing about that part of Sicily, and we've said this many times before, that every single province, every single section of Sicily has a different personality, a different feel. And in particular, the areas of Ragusa and Modica and Sicily, very Baroque, orange stones, and beautiful at night to see them lit up. So it's a very different type of a feel in the south, east of Sicily than it is over here on the East Coast.
For those of you who have read any of my books, I think it's Figubedu, I went to Porto Paolo, which is right next to Pachino, to probably the best fish restaurant I've ever been to. It's called Il Paladino. And I went there about 7 or 8 years ago, again, just to make sure it was still open and so forth. And it is still open. So we're going to have that one on our schedule. Come hook, hella high water. We're going to have that one. And of course, Masameni is famous for the mazzata. The tuna, was the tuna capital, and I think it's still pretty close to the tuna capital.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot there in Castelmar. There's several
fisheries
places
there and so forth, yeah. And the melons from Pachino, whether it's the honeydew melons or the watermelons or the olive oil.
Hello, the tomatoes.
The tomatoes,
they're
come
famous.
on.
The Pachino tomatoes are famous.
So that's going to be something different. It'll be a once-in-a-lifetime trip for some of you people. Now, for those of you who are veteran trip takers with us, you always get a discount. So, for example, let's talk about Chris for 1 second. She's been with us 3 times. So those of you who have been 3 times like Chris, right off the bat, you get a $500 discount off the price. Some of you people also deferred because of COVID this year or because of whatever, Ukraine or whatever, and you left a deposit behind. I urge you to get a hold of Esther because this thing is going to sell out. Chop. It's going to sell. We already have 5 reservations. All right, we're going to take 14 people, maybe 16 people. We're going to take the minivan. Is that correct?
So we'll
So-
have details for you and pricing.
This is
very
going to be a
soon.
good trip. This will be
So
a great
I want to
trip.
say something.
I'm going on it too, by the way.
I want to say something before we have Jack Allensworth, because tomorrow, May 23rd, is the 30th anniversary of the assassination of Judge Falcone. Giovanni Falcone, as many of you know, May 23rd, 1992, was assassinated by the mafia for his groundbreaking work. Then him and Paolo Borsellino, another judge from Palermo who was assassinated a few weeks later, did, putting dozens of mafia bosses behind bars. And, those two men are heroes. And so I just want to tell you guys that we did do an entire video about the judges, and I will put a link at the bottom of the description of this show. But important people, if you don't know anything about Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino, I urge you to look them up. Two Sicilian heroes, and it's a big day here in all of Italy. There'll be commemorations, there'll be moments of silence, there'll be speeches, there'll be all types of things. So a big day.
The current president of Italy, Salvatore Mattarella, is that his name?
Sergio Mattarella.
Sergio, okay. His brother was a mafia investigator during this period of time, and he was assassinated.
He was mayor of Palermo.
He was the mayor of Palermo when he was assassinated. We interviewed, when we did our mafia piece several years back, we interviewed the daughter of the famous Catanese journalist. His last name was Fava. Remember him?
Yep.
What a great, his daughter has dedicated her life to anti-mafia causes. And the mafia has changed since the 80s and the 90s. It's kind of mutated.
Mhm.
It's much more white-collar crime than it is, guns in the side of the waistband the way it was
But
in the
it
80s
still
and the 90s.
exists.
I'll give you a quick example. Yesterday in the newspaper, that one of the largest supermarket chains is called Conad, C-O-N-A-D. Matter of fact, we use the one over here in Archie San Filippo. 13 of them got confiscated by the government to the tune of 100 million euro because the people behind Conad had mafia affiliation. So the mafia's fingerprints are no longer as thugs. They are in hotels and all this other stuff, supermarkets.
But there are some restaurants and there are shops that, they put it out on the windows, no pago pizza. So there are people that are fighting back. The Condrelli, they were trying to embezzle him, and he went straight to the cops. He had a press conference to say, I'm not going to go hand in hand with the mafia anymore. So it is changing. It does exist. But I just wanted to take a minute to say, let's remember Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino for their groundbreaking work.
Before we bring on Jack, I have two smaller announcements, then I'm going to move off and Jack's going to come in. Number one, the Sicilian Project, which is our 501c3 nonprofit that we use to teach kids in English. As a matter of fact, we'll be starting it up, the teaching component, again in September. What we've done during COVID is we've been donating money to churches and charities that work with battered women, sexually abused kids, and all summer long to Ukrainian refugees coming into Italy.
Also people giving, a lot of charities that help the disadvantaged who can't afford food because the issues have come worse during COVID.
Well, wait, let me just finish, okay? The last grouping of money that we've been giving out is to Ukrainian refugees coming into Italy, where the number, by the way, now exceeds 100,000, all right? So this week, I authorized Giovanni Lanza, our president, who he's a gift to Sicily, a guy that's running our 501c3, to donate 2,000 euro back to the Archdiocese of Acciaiale, which has been raising money for Ukraine. So wouldn't you know it, Giovanni sent the money out. We got our email from the secretary, from the bishop, and the bishop.
Not the secretary.
Who was it?
The bishop.
The bishop. Excuse me. And
I've been in contact with the bishop.
Next Saturday, Esther and I are going to meet the bishop. So what do I say? Do I say, like, how do you do, bishop? I mean, I have to figure out the protocol now.
You have to bow. I know it's going to be tough. I know. I got to bow. I don't even know. I think the Pope, you don't have to kiss his hand. I don't know. We have to listen. Last time I met, he was so personable, very nice man, speaks English, was so gracious. But him and I have been talking, so we're going to meet Saturday and we'll report
I have
back.
to find a tie. That's all I know. I have to find a tie. Okay.
Goodbye. It's so nice to see Dr. Rosemary over here. Buona domenica. Jim is here. Jack is going to come and join us. Buona domenica, everyone. Nice to see everyone here. We appreciate you guys coming back and watching. Wow, Kiana, I haven't seen you in a while. Watch that vodka, Alfred. The best storages in Sicily. Okay, who don't know? You have to get right in the shot. Right in the shot. Let me see. Okay, so Jack Allensworth.
Ciao.
In the
Ciao,
house. Wait
baby.
a sec.
There
Let's
we
go down here.
Perfect.
Jack Allensworth is a board member in the St. Louis Italian Sicilian Cultural Club, Cultural Commission. Association Commission. And he's a native. His mother is from Sicily, right?
Right.
From
grandparents.
Minoni. Well, your mother's side.
Mom's side, yeah.
Mom's side.
Yeah.
And they are from Milazzo. Lots of information to remember. Milazzo, and then they went to Palermo. Jack has been coming back and forth to Sicily many, many times. The Sicily bug really bit him, right? And his beautiful, lovely wife, Wendy, who's over here sitting and watching, and their friend Karen, who's also here.
That would be Diane.
Diane. How do you say her last name?
Langenecker.
Yes, she is Sicilian. All right. So, Jack.
Yes.
Your nonno, everyone left. On your mother's side.
Yeah.
And where did they move to?
St. Louis, Missouri. They, I think we're talking about 1899. He came over. His wife, my Nona, I've never met. They were both from Milazzo, yet they didn't meet in Milazzo. They got maybe arranged in St. Louis. And they
think Alfred's grandparents. I think so, right, Al?
Yeah.
Very interesting. So you didn't meet them?
No. My grandmother died before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather died when I was 2 or 3. So I have no.
And what stories did your mom tell about her parents?
Some of the sayings, like she said her mother, when her kids were sick, and this is what I heard, and I heard it wrong. She would say, Mama would say, "Duci Gisparo," meaning I'm going to shoot everyone. My baby's sick. Well, it's Tutti Cisparo. All those years, I would tell people that, and they, what? So yeah. And growing up, I'd never heard Sicilian. I never heard the word Sicily.
That was very interesting that you said that you were always called Italian.
Yes.
Now, didn't your mom correct them?
No, they were protecting us. You know, there was a hierarchy of the immigrants. And considering when mom and my grandmother and grandfather came over, it was pretty well a caste system from what I hear. So it's, I didn't even, it wasn't until 2011, 28 or 9 when I started planning the trip to Sicily. I planned like a couple years.
But when did you realize that you were Sicilian and not Italian?
When I was planning that trip. Now, my mom, you know, when I was around 30, I asked my mom, you know, where was your father born? Because I had no roots, didn't care. She said, well, Palermo, that's in Sicily, that's Italy, you're Italian. Just like that. So I didn't question it, no big deal. So I started studying up on coming to Sicily, and my plan at first, just go to Italy. I had been told there's nothing to see in Sicily. So I'm thinking, well, no, that's where my roots are. I got to spend a couple days.
A couple days.
Yeah. So I'm studying and I'm studying and I'm studying. And then somehow TripAdvisor something, pow, you're Sicilian. You're not Italian. It's 2 different places. Italy's fine. It's beautiful. But Sicily it's separate. It's a whole
Wasn't
different
part of Italy until after unification in 1860. Think about that.
And something in the back of my mind, I probably shouldn't get into it much, but all those people left Sicily. So the new government didn't make it nice enough to stay. Now, some came back.
Well, there was poverty. There was Etna. There was
There was no opportunity.
sickness. There
There's no
were
opportunity.
myriad of things why
Yeah.
people left. It wasn't just one specific.
Right.
Yes, a lot of them left seeking
Yeah.
a better future for their family. You know, I
Mhm.
always say, how
Mhm.
courageous are they to leave beautiful Sicily,
Yeah.
number one, a land they know,
Paradise.
go into a strange land. They didn't speak the language.
No.
The foods were completely, you know, they had to make do with what was available in the United States. So, how courageous of them to leave.
Yeah. That was really something. Well, I finally became Sicilian. I tell people when I was around 60, it just hit me so hard that you got to go to Sicily. And I've been coming. This is my 6th trip in like 9 years, 8 if you count COVID.
What was it like to visit first time
Okay.
your ancestral hometown? Now, is your ancestral hometown Milazzo or Palermo? Which do you feel is your...
I had 2 moments. Okay. What I call the Sicilian moment, when you're standing where your ancestors were and it hits you, chills. And I've mentioned this before online and people go, oh yeah, that happened. Yeah. So the first time I went to Milazzo, we were driving around and nothing happening. Nothing's going. Yeah. I didn't get the moment. So as we were leaving Milazzo, over to the left on the street walk, there were 3 Sicilian gals dressed sharp, strutting down the way. In the middle was my mother at 20 years old.
Oh, you saw it in her eyes, in her face.
And I froze. I couldn't even get the car turned. I just, it was, something.
Yeah.
The other moment, and since my grandfather moved from Milazzo to Palermo, we were
the proper city, Palermo.
Well, it's
because a lot of times,
Yeah, I
they would say,
know.
I'm from Palermo. Well, wait a second. Palermo is a city and Palermo is a province.
yeah,
People say, oh, I'm from Catania. But wait a second. The province of Catania is pretty big. There's a lot of towns
yeah.
that come to find out they actually came from somewhere inside the province.
Right. And I've been trying to research that and kind of hit a dead end. I mailed every Salmeri, that's my mother's maiden name, in Palermo, and farm letter and some pictures, and only 2 or 3 answered back, yeah, maybe not. We don't think we're related. It was like avoidance.
Mhm.
So I'm in Palermo, and I walk up to Bolero, the big market, the chaos, and all this screaming and hollering and going back and forth. And anyone else would have went. I just went, oh, I got this. I got this. And I had the tingles for just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I said, let's go, hon. And haven't looked back since. Sicily's in my blood. It's in my heart. When I come here.
And by the way, your dad is Scottish.
Yeah.
The
Scotch
Sicily
Irish.
bugs are stronger.
Once Sicily wraps its arms around you, it's over.
Yeah,
Game
beautiful.
over. It's just, and I've returned a lot, and people say, well, do you see the same thing all the time? Well, I try to. I mean,
Well, and I often say this, Jack, that you go to some places, maybe it's a different time of the year. Everything looks different,
Yeah.
feels different.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. I've been to Taormina, to all these places 1 million times, but when you go different times of the year, it's a different vibe. We went with our
Yeah.
Christmas tour. It was just a different vibe. In Ortigia, the beautiful trees, and in Taormina, the beautiful trees. And now it's, springtime is just different. So,
yeah.
and plus, you always see something new.
Yes.
You can't take it all in.
No.
It's so much an explosion for your senses, right? You cannot possibly take in everything during one trip or one visit. So what are some new places you've gone to this time around?
What have we just saw? Licata, the town of Licata. I have friends, the Macanufo family, that wanted to see their hometown, so I tried to take some shots from them and all. I'm Shakely, Marina de Ragusa.
You've been there before.
I
You've
love
been
it.
all
Well, it's
those.
like home. I mean, yeah. I think, to be honest with everyone, Sicily, every town is its own universe.
Mm-hmm.
So to think I don't want to go this one, that's it. No, you spend the time or come back a lot like I do. You always see something new. This trip we're
Appunto.
yeah.
Appunto.
Now
Jack,
Okay.
let me just say hello to some people. Stay here because there's some great
Uh-oh.
comments. Thank you for the good work you're doing with the Sicilian project. Alfred, you have to say Your Excellency, according to everyone here. Your Excellency. Many sacrifices made from our immigrant ancestors. So true. Listen to Pat Greeley. I miss you, Pat. I hope your move went well. Walking the beach in Sheffield, where my grandfather grew up, was just wow. Sure, a lot of people. And yes, Patrick, we are live. Frank Santa Maria, my moment was to be in my family's church in Licata, province of Agrigento, and seeing and touching the vessel my dad was baptized in. Oh, that is that's our buddy Frank. That's really, really nice.
Frank Santa Maria.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're very involved in St. Louis in
Yes.
promoting all things Sicilian, which
Correct.
I love to see. You're always
Right.
sharing our things, and I
Mhm.
thank you very much. And you even have a shirt on, and on Facebook, you're always wearing our shirt. I
Yes.
really, really appreciate it. But tell me a little bit more about what the St. Louis Sicilian Association does.
A lot of charity work. We, during COVID, the board of directors always met once a month to make sure everything held together. And we just had an election, so I'm reelected again for the board. They have dances, they have events. We have a ballpark at the St. Louis Cardinals. We're having a game. We have dances. For the longest time, I would show you me and Sicily videos.
I remember you had
to
a
our club
hall,
meeting.
and you would have
Yeah. And we're always welcoming people, like from Sicily over. I brought some friends in and took them to our Christmas parties. It's very tight knit. It's a great organization.
You want to give a few shout outs?
Yeah. Oh, I thought
And
you
then
never
Wendy,
asked.
come say hello. I'm asking his wife to come on. She's the shy. Come say hello. Come over
Yeah.
back here.
Yeah, come on, dear.
Hmm?
Tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Say hello to everyone. And you're not
Hello.
Sicilian. Are you loving it?
Yes, I love
What's your background again?
German
German.
Dutch.
Sicily has bit you or what? Did Sicily
Oh.
bite you?
Yeah.
Grab your heart.
Yes.
Grab your heart?
Yes, I love it. I come here. Yeah, I come here willingly. It's a gorgeous place. I love every city we go to. Just take it all in.
Yeah, people
Awesome.
warm.
And this time you have a friend coming. Come say hello real quick. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's
Careful.
okay.
It didn't break.
That's okay.
Don't tear
Come
the place
say-
down. We're guests.
And you're also with the St. Louis
Sicilian Association.
Sicilian Association, and you are from Mazzara del Vallo.
Mazzara and my nonna, who I never met because I'm adopted. So all of this is new to me in the last
Come
4
on in.
years. I've always been told I was Italian, but
Mhm.
DNA just broke things wide open, and discovered that my paternal grandmother was born in Balestrate, but the family name, her father, who was a cobbler, was from Mazzara del Vallo. And he came to America first. I don't know what year, but she and her mother and younger brother made their first attempt in October 1911. The manifest has their names scratched out.
Oh,
May 1912, names all scratched out. Finally, August 1912, they went through and had the father's name, the street he was working on, or the place of residence in St. Louis. He was a cobbler there too. And that's how it started. And when you don't know where you're from and you finally find these fine-tuned facts, I had to come. Jack was putting together a thing. Which was actually supposed to be 2020.
Yeah.
We
What
finally
was-
made it last
what was it
September.
like to come here first time?
It was kind of overwhelming. It was comfortable. It felt like home. Not many people understand that, but it felt like where I belong. It felt familiar in the most odd sort of way. And I've traveled a lot. My aha moment, or the thing that made me tingle, I don't know what significance this is, but Duna Lucata. Something about that grabbed me, and that said, we love you.
Oh,
And I want to come back. I want to rent
Bravo.
property there.
Yeah.
So,
bravo. Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
All right. Oh, I just love
Yes, I can.
hearing these stories because Sicily does.
Oh,
Because Sicily does affect people in an unbelievable way, and it's so beautiful to hear. Oh, she's got a little bit
Yay.
teary. All right, some shout outs.
shout outs. The St. Louis Sicilian Culture Association, husband and wife team, the Sant'Angelo's, Michael and Tanina. It's in their blood. They were made to do this. John Amandola, who was the first person to extend a hand of friendship and introduce me to the Unico Club, to the St. Louis Culture Association. I will never forget you for that. Down in New Orleans, just outside of New Orleans, is a little town called Independence, Louisiana. It's as small as you're going to think it's small. They have a Sicilian Heritage Festival.
Oh, wow.
And there's more people than the town show up for that. And there's arancini, there's stuffed artichokes. A special hi to Lino Castigola, Robin Adams, and Jake Liutz. I met them. They're wonderful, wonderful people. Welcomed me with open arms, showed me around. They have a little church that's dedicated to the Sicilian experience.
Wow.
And so there's all kinds.
That's really good to
yes,
see that
yeah.
happening in the United States.
Okay, fine.
Jack.
Oops.
Oh, no. One more.
Special shout out to my friend Tom McGlynn and his partner Rob. Tom's a moderator for the Facebook page Sicilian A, and he went to Sicily just recently, went to Italy, and now he's stuck in Italy with COVID. So both of them are.
Oh,
So our hearts are with you, buddy. Hope you get better. And he was in California, and they met us in Santa Barbara and showed us around.
fun.
So
fun.
nice, so nice.
Jack, I want to say thank you to you and Wendy for being such great friends, such great supporters
My
of
pleasure.
our videos
My
and so forth.
pleasure.
And we're going to eat soon, but first we got to
Manja,
finish the
manja.
show.
Okay. Gotta pay
Thank
the
you.
bills.
Are you
Thank
enjoying
you,
this?
everyone.
Are
Thank
you enjoying this live on the spot production and organizing and producing? Impromptu. Here you go. So, Peter Scapoletti, nice to see you and Jean over here. Hope you're feeling better. I sent you a message the other day. Pat, hi, Esther. Loving my Sunday in Catania, everyone. Even thinking of Sicily Go with Esther and Alfred. Sicily is fabulous and no COVID worries at all. Been here 3 weeks and it is heaven. Oh, Pat Galfano, thank you. Hope to see you before you leave.
You know, Esther, what Jack was saying, and this wonderful woman over here, is the experience that many Americans have. Okay, people who hear the stories from their parents or their great-grandparents or their parents, and there's like an unanswered question that lingers with the person throughout their adulthood. And when they come here, they begin to find their raison d'etre, the reason for being. They begin to connect the dots. That's what Sicily is. The sad part about the whole situation is that we find out about this stuff later in life. Too bad we couldn't find out about it when we were in our 20s or 30s, when we were young
Al,
people.
you grew up, knowing that you were Sicilian. Your grandparents spoke Sicilian, right? So you were immersed in that stuff. But you have said many times that when you first came to Italy, you only did Rome.
Correct.
So you knew about your Sicilian background, but a lot of people just choose
Let me
and
explain that
Art
to
and
you.
Christina, clients that just came here, they spent about 3 weeks up in all over Italy and then left about 4 days to Sicily. I was like, what? You guys have to spend more time here. And she's from Nicolosi.
Let me just explain a couple of things to our listeners. First of all, there were 2 immigrant waves. One was at the end of the 19th century, the beginning of the 20th century, where they came on the boat, just like you saw in the movie The Titanic. And then the second wave was a recent wave, post-World War II, in the early 50s, okay? People coming here for a variety of reasons, okay? Now, when they came here, and surprisingly, this is the most surprising thing of all, 50% of those who immigrated to the United States ended up returning to Italy. Did you know that? Half of them. They ended up coming back in one way or another. But for those who remained in the United States, there were two groups. One group was a group that wanted to assimilate into the American way, okay? And for example, Italian wasn't allowed to be spoken in those homes. I know many people where I grew up where you couldn't speak Italian in the house because the immigrants, the grandfather or the father, wanted their children, in order to have a better shot at success in life, to learn the American way, okay? That's one group. The other group, which I'm a part of, because that's how my people did it, the Zappala and the Teresis, well, not so much the Teresis, but the Zappalas, is we never forgot our Sicilian cultural roots. We were Sicilian. We spoke Sicilian. We always felt that Sicily was an occupied country from Italy. It's a completely different experience, okay? My grandfather, as I've said 10 million times over here, was one of the originators of the Festa Sant'Afio, which he brought from Castagni, along with a couple other guys, which is now the largest Italian festival in New England. Hundreds of thousands of people go there. It's a great organization. They do wonderful charity. And my brother Tommy, for example, has been a lineal descendant of somebody in the Zappala or Teresi clan since it started. And next year will be the 100th anniversary.
And you're going to go home.
And I'm going to go home
So
for that.
can I say something
Yeah.
about this whole thing? Because I'm an immigrant myself. And the way from Hungary, born in Hungary. So when we came over as a family, we were encouraged to keep our Hungarian only in the house. And I remember leaving the house when we were just starting to speak English, and I spoke very little. We went to California first for a few months, but that's not enough time to learn English. But I remember going and being out in public, and there were some things I couldn't say to my mom in English, and I started speaking in Hungarian, and boy, did she get angry. When you're out in public, you don't speak Hungarian, you only speak English. But it wasn't really because it was an embarrassing thing or whatever. It was mostly because she wanted us to get to learn the language, as you know, as so important, as soon as possible. I remember my parents putting us in front of Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street and other PBS shows to watch those to learn English as fast as possible. But in terms of the culture, we continued having all the traditions that we did, all the Hungarian traditions that we had. Of course, my mom's Catholic, my dad was Jewish, so we kept all the traditions alive. But slowly but surely, my parents did introduce American traditions like Thanksgiving, and one of the things that one of the favorite things that we have at home, even now, is our Thanksgiving dinner that my mom makes every year. So it's very special, being an immigrant and being able to have your old traditions, your old cultures, but get to be in a new country, learn new cultures, learn new traditions, learn a new language. It's really a gift. I feel very blessed to have been exposed to all these cultures. And now I'm in Sicily, so I'm starting to get a little Sicilian. What do you think?
Yes,
My cooking.
I mean, honestly, I've said this a million times. So no one has adapted to Sicilian lifestyle quicker than she has. I mean, she was speaking Italian after she didn't know how to speak one word of Italian. Okay, she was speaking Portuguese. Okay. And boom, within a year, she was starting to converse because she went shopping all the time. And she had, I swear to God, if she ran for mayor of Architrezza, she'd win. All right. Because everybody knows her. But I wanted to say one other thing about places like Cleveland, Ohio, the Midwest area, St. Louis, a lot of those places over there. There is another reason why people went, New York City especially. There is another reason is because of the threat of either the Black Hand, which was the original precursor of the modern mafia, where people were killed for almost no reason at all, to, look what happened in Siciliana, the town of Siciliana, which is right by Agrigento, where the mafia in that particular town took the sides against the guys from Corleone. They took the side of the guys from Palermo, and then after the war, Totoriena, who was the winner from Corleone, he killed almost all the men there. Almost all the men were killed there, and it wasn't until the American gangster, the mafioso from New York City, John Gotti, went to Siciliana and took 80 families back with him to New York City, and these guys became his muscle. They call them the Scapata, those who escaped, and they were his most loyal soldiers in New York. Why do they do that? What's the connection between the American mafia and the Italian mafia? Is very simple. Droga. Simple. Drugs. Okay?
Same as today.
Money. Okay? And the American mafia has mutated. And the thing that I've railed against my entire professional career, I mean, Zappola, Sicilian, I used to drive a Lincoln Town car. What's the inference there? Okay? I've been fighting against that type of stereotype my entire life, Esther, as has just about anybody in Massachusetts of Sicilian extraction.
Well, it was interesting. I was telling Jack this, that I went to school with 4 people, one a very close girlfriend who always told me she was Italian. And it wasn't until I came here to Sicily in 2014 that she said, I'm Sicilian. I said, Trish, why didn't you ever tell me? And she specifically said, well, you know, Esther, there's a lot of stereotypes against Sicilians. And one of the reasons that we started You, Me, and Sicily, the videos on YouTube, was to dispel, the original intent was to dispel the myths against Sicilians and teach and educate people about Sicily's many treasures, its history, its vast, vast contributions to the world. So, you know, our work is not done. That's for sure.
Esther, let's stop and go back to the comment that you just made about Sicilians' contributions to the world. Let me just stop there, okay? And let's think about the fact that there are only 5 to 5.5 million Sicilians living here, okay? The contributions that Sicilians have made in the fields of mathematics, the sciences, the arts, poetry, writing, cinema. The list is endless. For a lousy 5 million people, blows away many societies throughout the world with tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people. Sicilians, and I don't care what anybody says that's not Sicilian. Sicilians are leaders, okay? You get one Sicilian and 100 other people from it. I don't care what you say, cream rises to the top. That Sicilian, come hell or come high water down the road, will be near the top of the pack. That's how it's always been. Why? Because our DNA is an amalgam, okay? We are many things. We're Greek, we're Roman, we're Muslim, we're Norman, you name it. We're Spanish, we're Austrian, we're
Viking.
English, okay? We have and again,
16,
I don't want to sound
16.
Thank you. I say it's hyper DNA. I mean, I wish I could put it in a
Super big.
bottle and sell it, but I can't.
Listen, I'll fight you with my Hungarian DNA.
There's a good one
There's
right
a
there,
good
too.
one right there.
These
We've got
Hungarians are tough.
We've got a good DNA as
There's only
well.
like 10 million people over there. They're tough as nails.
We're a little bit like Sicily. We've been conquered here and there. Nope.
I have
Let
an
me-
announcement to make.
I have a
All
few
right.
things to say.
All right.
Nonna just said that the information on the 2023 tour is not up there. We will have that up
Yeah,
there.
we're in the process of
in-
pricing it out and making sure that we have hotel reservations. It's very early, but we know that it'll be as soon as we put that thing up online, it'll be a sellout.
For sure.
So we're
We've already
talking to you. If you're interested, do me a favor.
messaged
Even if
me.
even if you think that you're interested in coming, send her a message. We'll put you on a list, and once we announce it formally, she will contact you beforehand and
Yes.
we'll say, hey, yes or no, you want to come. But I know
Pat
it's going to be a
says,
sellout.
Walking into Militello from the one horse town, the train station, I cried walking as I felt my grandparents envelop me. It is mystical. God bless us. Oh,
Yes,
that
it
is
is. It is.
beautiful. That is
I
beautiful.
wish the Sicilian people felt that way here. They
well,
don't.
It's different. That's
What's happened to
wait a
stop.
sec,
I
let
wanna
me
talk
finish.
now.
Let me
No.
finish. Let me finish.
I can never
No.
get a word in edgewise with this Hungarian.
Excuse me, audience. Has he spoken nonstop for a little bit? Everything you're saying is great. Just let me sketch a
I
few
want to give me the
things.
business. I don't care.
Okay, well.
I'll be on the next program.
Okay, the Sicilians are proud people. Let me just say one quick thing. Jim Ingram says, wait a sec, booze, cigarettes, prostitution, money laundering, all added to the growth of the mafia, for sure.
No kidding, Jimmy.
And
Can I
lots of
address Jimmy?
discrimination.
Am I allowed to address
Yes.
Jimmy? Look, I decided I'm not going to the villages. Okay, you know why? This is a very appropriate time to say that, because I've been getting my busted by her because I haven't taken her to Budapest. So I'm going to go to Budapest with her.
You haven't come with me to Budapest.
Right. I'm going to go, instead of me going to the States, and I was going to go in January or February.
It's not a
I'm
good
gonna
time to go.
I'm going to go to Budapest. But what?
It's not a good time in January.
I'll tell you what, Esther. I'm going to Budapest. I don't care if I have to stay in the hotel room. I'm going to eat that goddamn food. What kind of food did they have? Do they have pasta there and stuff?
Stop.
They have meatballs and sausage?
Yes, they do.
I have to eat goulash.
Okay, not cool. Goulash. You think that's the only food there is there?
What else
Are you kidding me? Tons of
cabbage.
good food.
I have to eat cabbage.
Well, that just shows how uneducated you are
Probably
about
right.
hungry, and you need to go. Basta.
Wait, Jimmy, I'm not going to the village. I'm not going to the village.
Listen, I want to give a big shout out to Pat Galfano and her husband. It was so nice to meet them. We had a great day at the vineyard. We did the Etna wines, and they're still talking about the Crispelli that you didn't get.
You think that she would have brought me one lousy Crispelli?
Well, it would have been.
Put it in her purse.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Given it to me? No.
But it would have been gross after that. Listen, I want to say one more thing. When Alfred goes home in June, end of June, beginning of July, we will have these sterling silver Trinacrias available. They are limited. So message me if you want to. Back in March, they flew off the shelf. So message me if you want one of those.
They never made it to the shelf.
They never even. No, it was sold out by now. Listen, honey, I think we need to wrap up.
Wait a minute, I have a
just
couple
little
announcements.
bit.
You said I could have the last 10 minutes.
You had like 5 announcements already.
Wait a minute.
El, you had 5 announcements.
I need to have 2 more.
And two
more.
Okay, 2 more. Then I have 2 others.
Then she's going to get the last word. Listen, you know how you support us? You support us by subscribing to our channel, number 1, or number 2, which really should be number 1, become a member of our community, okay, for $1.99 a month, which essentially is less than a cup of coffee, okay? So what do we do with this money? Well, we don't spend it on ourselves, that's for sure. We end up buying equipment all the time so that we can
This is a brand new equipment that I'm still playing around with.
Broadcast effectively from Sicily, which has the worst internet in the history of the world.
Twice a week.
So $1.99, that's like you can't even get a cup of
can't
even get a cup of coffee.
And we have the pre-produced videos, which, by the way, I have a video coming very soon on Etna wines. We went to 2 vineyards and we're going to feature them. That's coming up pretty soon. So 1, 2, or even sometimes 3 videos for you on YouTube.
That's right. Over 2 million views. Can you believe that? That's on this platform. We have other platforms that we're streaming on. But if you stop and think about it, right? Every week, people tune in to listen to my bloviating and to listen to Esther's, insightful commentary. How does that sound?
And listen, the point is, have some vodka. Why don't you drink some more vodka? The point is, listen to me. We really, really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here with us. We know you're busy whenever you're watching, so we're really, really humbled and thank you. There's no September tour.
October tour.
There's an October tour.
Oh,
it's on our website, www.youmeandsicily.com. Fall in Sicily. Check it out. Now we're going to go eat our Sunday dinner with our dear friends who are coming to visit us for the day. On that note, thank you, everyone, for being here. See you on another video. Wow, we're getting claps. Did you hear that?
Right.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao, ciao.